Let's fill them up, fill them up, fill them up, fill them up. Clean them out, clean them out, clean them out. Hold your cars down, listen for the tone. Down and quiet. Here we go, we're off and running. Race number 24 underway. Jer Lopez going to lead here at this 20-minute final. Jader going to come across the line and join that clean track in front of him right now. Scott White in that number 2 spot. Mike Manella right behind him in the number 3. 2 and 3 very close together as they work through the left-hand side of the track. Gene Hickerson in the 4. Jimbo Cadira in the 5. Dave Fowler in that number 6. Tony Patashaw in that 7. Louis Perez in the 8. Hernandez in the 9. Corey Brown in the 10. Jake Lasco in the 11. A.J. Johnson in the 12. Anton Watson 13. And Ryan LeCire working the number 14. Still a long ways left to go. Got 120 down, 18:40 left to go. Jer Lopez, Scott White, Mike Manella, 1, 2, and 3. Gene Hickerson holding on to that number 4 spot. Jimbo Cadira now in that number 5. Jimbo Cadira now going to move his way up to the number 4. Man, Jimbo from 13th on the starting grid, already up to the 4. Jer Lopez already worked in the back section of the field, dealing with some lap traffic here. You're now 2 minutes down, 18 minutes left to go. 2 minutes down, 18 minutes remaining. Nice battle here in the middle of the pack between A.J. Johnson, Gene Hickerson, Jimbo Cadira, Tony Patashaw, Mike Manella, Hernandez, Perez, Corey Brown, and Anton Watson. That is the 3 through 11, all within about 4.5 seconds of one another. You're now 3 minutes down, 17 minutes left to go. 3 minutes down, 17 minutes remaining. Jer Lopez now with a 9-second lead up on the field. A.J. Johnson holding on to that number 3. Gene Hickerson working the 4. Jimbo Cadira in the 5 and final podium position. Here's Jimbo Cadira coming across the line, still holding on to that number 5. A.J. Johnson right now 0.6 of a second back to that number 3. Gene Hickerson 6.2 seconds back into 2. Jer Lopez still with the race lead and just clicked off his fastest lap of the race at a 27.6. 4:30 down, 15:30 left to go. 15:30 remaining here in race number 24. 5 minutes down. 15 minutes left to go. 5 minutes down. 15 minutes remaining. A.J. Johnson coming across the line. Oh, we got one diving into the pits here at the 5-minute mark. All right, you're right at 6 minutes down, 14 minutes left to go. Jer Lopez still with that 18-second lead. Another one diving into the pits here. I believe that's Pattishaw into the pits. Gene Hickerson in that number 2 spot, 20 seconds back of the 1. Scott White, A.J. Johnson, 3 and 4. Jimbo Cadira in that number 5. Anton Watson working the 6. Corey Brown in the 7. Jake Lasco in the 8. John Hernandez in the 9. Tony Pattishaw in that 10. Mike Manell, 11. Riley Kyer in the 12, Louis Perez in the 13, Dave Fowler 14. Several coming in for fuel stops here early. But the majority of our field going to get ready to get under fuel stops here in just a moment. Gene the Machine Hickerson finds himself in that number 2 right now, 23. Now it's going to fall down to the 3 as A.J. Johnson moves to the 2. Scott White right there in the 4. All right, 7:15 down, 12:45 left to go. 7:15 down, 20:45 remaining. Oh, man. Jer Lopez right now with a 25-second lead up on Gene Hickerson. He and Scott White, though, only separated by 0.4 of a second. Let's pick that battle up here on the racetrack. It's 40-plus Nitro Buggy presented by Exalt out on the track. Should be working their way right here in front of the driver's stand. Yep, there's Gene Hickerson. They're in front of us, followed closely by Scott White. Oh, Scott White going to go for a bad tumble. Oh, he's upside down. Going to have to be marshaled here. So breathing room here now for Gene Hickerson as a couple of cars get tied up right here in front of him. There goes Scott White down across that start-finish line now. 3.7 seconds back at a 2. 8 minutes down, 12 minutes left to go. 8 minutes down, 12 minutes remaining. .30 down, 11:30 left to go. Jimbo Cadira coming across the line right now, running in at number 4 spot. Jonathan Hernandez works his way to the number 5. Hernandez, one of our bump ups from, oh, excuse me, not a bump up, apologize. He raced his way into the A main. Hey, calm down up there on that driver's stand. Settle down on that driver's stand. Jake Lasco, Anton Watson, and John Hernandez, 6, 7, and 8. They're beginning to do battle now as they're only separated here by 1.2 seconds. 10:30 left to go. Jer Lopez well out in front. That HB showing the way. Really strong running here this weekend. with 9:45 left to go. It's Jer Lopez, Scott White, Gene Hickerson, 1, 2, and 3. Jimbo Cadira working at number 4. A.J. Johnson, Jake Lasco, 5 and 6. Anton Watson down to 7. Hernandez in the 8. Patterson at number 9. That's 11 minutes down, 9 minutes remaining. 11 minutes down, 9 minutes remaining.
About 11:45, 11:50. Still got an hour remaining of Nitro main. Okay.
All righty, guys. Just got told that concessions is closing soon. Concessions is closing soon, and what's left is half price. Concessions is closing soon, and what's left is half price. 12 minutes down, 8 minutes left to go.
43, 44, I think. Yeah, I did too, but he's 43, 44 years old.
All right, these guys now within their final fuel window with 7:30 left to go. Jer Lopez right now with an 18-second lead up on the field. Scott White holding on to that number 2 spot. Gene Hickerson into number 3, 11 seconds back into 2. Jimbo Cadira into number 4, 7.6 seconds back into 3. A.J. Johnson holding on to the 5. A.J. currently 4.6 seconds back into 4. Johnson Hernandez in that number 6, 6 seconds back of the 5 spot. Jake Lasco into 7. Now Lasco going to move to the 6. Hernandez. Anton Watson now to the 7. Hernandez down to the 8. Pattershaw 9. Pattershaw 1.4 seconds by Hernandez for the 8.
Thank you.
14 minutes down, 6 minutes left to go. 14 minutes down, 6 minutes remaining. Anton Watson now looking for that number 5 and final podium position as he closes here on the backside of Jimbo Cadira. It's Jader, Gene, Scott, 1, 2, and 3. A.J. Johnson working the 4. Jimbo Cadira in the 5. Just over 5 minutes left to go. Race number 25, you're coming up next. That's going to be Open Nitro Buggy. Open Nitro Buggy up next.
5 minutes left.
All right, that's 15 minutes down. 5 minutes left to go. No close battles to call right now here at the top of the leaderboard. Got a long lap here for A.J. Johnson waiting in to come back to the line. That's going to allow Jimbo Cadira to move up to the 4. A.J. Johnson falls to the 5. 4:30 remaining, 4:30 left to go. With just over 4 minutes left to go, 4 minutes remaining. Jer Lopez
4 minutes left.
with a 30-second lead here up on Gene Hickerson. Scott White holding on to the 3 spot, 4.5 seconds back of the number 2. Scott White 17 seconds up on Jimbo Cadira. A.J. Johnson still holding on to that number 5 in final podium position. Got Johnson Hernandez from 12th on the starting grid all the way to that number 6 spot. He's just outside of a podium finish right now. Mike Manella and Louis Perez right now going out for that number 12 and 13 spot. They're only separated by 1 second.
Three minutes left.
Jer Lopez right now with the race lead. Scott White holding on to number 2 spot. Gene Hickerson working at number 3. I'm going to need my top 5 straight to podium after this race with 2:30 left to go. Oh, Gene Hickerson has closed that gap now on Scott White as they come down that front straightaway. Gene Hickerson within striking distance to Scott White, left-hand side of the track. Here they come in through the S-turn. Got that black buggy there of Scott White with the white wheels, black wing. Gene Hickerson in the S-work trying to close in on him. Middle section of the track. On that jump away double, around the hairpin. Working the short street in the back. Gene Hickerson closing in on Scott White here. Right-hand side of the track, battle for that number 2. Down the front straightaway. Left-hand side of the track, Scott White trying to hold on to it here. And Gene Hickerson is getting closer and closer. Gene trying to reel him in. They got lap traffic they're going to have to deal with here on the top section of the track, top right-hand side now. Here comes 2 and 3 directly behind you. That's actually Jer Lopez, our race leader, but he's 1 lap up on him. Left-hand side of the track now, Lopez. 1 lap up on Scott White there. Just, oh, man, all kinds of carnage. Our race leader getting tied up. Scott White making it through. Gene Hickerson now we're going to make it through. Race leader having to deal with that lap traffic. Still 1 lap up on the field, though, but the battle for the number 2 spot. Hot and heavy here. 19 minutes down, 1 minute left to go. 19 minutes down, 1 minute remaining. Left-hand side of the track, kid. Gene Hickerson run down Scott White for that number 2. The action here, Ab, with only 60 seconds left to go. They're coming through the triple. Scott White on those TCO tires. You have Gene Hickerson on the dialed RC tires. Advantage a little bit right now to Gene Hickerson as he's closed in on his back bumper. He's caught him. Can he find a way around? Here they come on to the front straightaway. 30 seconds on the clock remaining. Oh, man! Oh, man, all kinds of carnage at the end of the straightaway. Somebody's gotten tied up. I can't tell who it is. It looks like Scott White has come out.
Left.
I don't see Gene Hickerson's car yet. There's Gene. So Gene now giving up a ton of time here with only 5 seconds left to go in the race. Gene Hickerson getting tied up with the red cars at the end of the front straightaway, so it will be Scott White holding on to that number 2 spot. Gene Hickerson with a hell of a drive here at the very end. Going to come on in the 3. A.J. Johnson going to edge out Jimbo Cadira. for that 4 and 5 position. Congratulations, Jer Lopez,
Corey Brown
leading
done.
this thing from tone to tone.
Tony Patty Shaw done.
Pattishaw going to
Anton
come up in
Watson
at
done.
6, Anton Watson
Jonathan
in the
Hernandez
7, and
done.
Hernandez going to finish up in the 8. That's the race, guys. Everybody is done. All right, I need Jer Lopez, Scott White, Gene Hickerson, A.J. Johnson, Jimbo Cadira.